All right, so the very first thing that you need to do instead of worrying about alt tags and schema markup and all that other stuff that other SEOs talk about is you need to ask yourself one question. And that one question is, am I a local facing business or am I a national facing business or both? This question is incredibly important because SEO has changed. There are different SEO strategies depending on the type of business that you are. And what we often find is that people are focusing on the wrong strategies for their business when it comes to SEO. So let's start with a local facing business, right? This means that you have a location, you sell products and services to a local area. If you're this type of business, there are 4 main things that you should be focusing on when it comes to SEO that actually move the needle. And the very first and most important thing is your Google business profile. Now, a Google business profile is a free profile listing that Google lets you create for your business. If you don't have a Google business profile for your business, it's free to set up and it's really easy to do. Just search for Google business profile inside of a Google search, click on it, follow the steps and create your profile. Now, once you have a Google business profile, it's incredibly important to know how to optimize that profile so that you'll be able to come up in Google. And the reason why it is so important to make sure that profile is filled out completely and optimized is that when people search for things like a plumber near me, you'll see something that's called the Google Map Pack. And the Google Map Pack is simply just this section of Google search where there is a map on the right and business listings on the left. These business listings are showing because Google feels that the profiles for these Google business profiles are really optimized and dialed in and explain clearly what this business does. This is why it is so important to make sure that all the sections of your Google business profile are filled out, and AI can make this really easy for you to do. For example, if we open up the BKA content business profile and just click edit profile here, you'll see that there are lots of different sections. This business category section is incredibly important, and all you have to do to know what sort of categories to put in there is simply ask ChatGPT. So for example, in ChatGPT, I can literally ask it, what categories should I pick for the business categories section in my Google business profile for BKA content, and hit enter. And you'll see that ChatGPT is going to give me some business category ideas to be able to put inside of my Google business profile. So if we scroll down, you can see that it's suggesting digital marketing agency, content marketing service, copywriting service, advertising agency. So I would want to make sure that I fill this out, and I already have using the help of ChatGPT, to make sure that it fully understands what business categories are relevant to my business. And you would go through and do the exact same thing for your description and all the other information that you'll fill out on this Google business profile to make sure that it is absolutely optimized for Google. And if you want to learn more about how to rank higher in the Google Map Pack as quickly as possible using your Google business profile, then click the resource link below, which is completely free, where we show you exactly how to do this in more detail. All right, the second thing that you should focus on if you are a local business is your site structure. And what I mean by your site structure is, does your website pages actually match with what you do? For example, I met recently with a new client that needed help with their SEO. This client was a local business that actually provided services for skin rejuvenation and so forth. But when we took a look at the website, it was simply a Shopify store selling skin creams and lotions. That website did not accurately reflect at all what this person's business was. Instead of focusing on products, that website needs to focus on the location and the services that they provide. Products could be a secondary thing that they offer, but it shouldn't be the main focus. Making sure that your website supports your Google business profile matters a ton. So in the Google business profile, if you say that you provide service 1, service 2, service 3, and you do that in cities location 1, location 2, location 3, you need to make sure that matches on your website. The website should show individual service pages for all of your services, as well as individual location pages for all of your locations. This helps Google to understand exactly what your business is about, what you do, and where you serve and do those things. If you don't have this information clearly on your website in a structure that makes sense, you're going to confuse Google and your website's not going to come up in the map pack. So it's really important to make sure that your website clearly reflects what it is that you do and where you perform those services. So if your website isn't that way, doing this can move the needle incredibly fast for your website when it comes to AI search. The third thing that you need to focus on if you're a local business is getting more 5-star reviews. So if we go back to this plumbers near me example, you can see that all of the listings that are coming up in the map pack have good reviews and a lot of reviews, right? So making sure that we're getting 5-star reviews is incredibly important when it comes to getting your local business to rank. Now I get asked this question all the time. How do I get more 5-star reviews? We're just starting out, or we don't really have that many customers. What can I do to get some? Well, the easiest thing to do is to snipe the people that had a good experience. If you have regulars that come in, or you know of people that you've helped that had a good experience, simply just ask. Send them an email, give them a call, shoot them a text, ask them if they would be willing to leave you a Google review. The power of the ask is real, and if you ask for them, you will get them. So make sure that you're asking for 5-star reviews. The fourth thing that you should focus on with SEO if you're a local business is citations. Now, citations are exactly what they sound like. They are websites out on the web that have your business listed with what you do and the hours of operation, your phone number, and your address. We call it the NAP, name, address, phone number. And the more citations or places online that say that your business is who you are and you're located at this place, the better it will help Google to understand that you are a real business and that they should start listing you in their search results. So for example, inside of Google, if I ask what is BKA content and I start to scroll down, you'll see that our website comes up, but then Reddit also comes up, LinkedIn comes up, YouTube comes up, other places like this B2B Marketing Expo, Crunchbase, and so forth, right? Google is looking across the web to make sure that it really understands what BKA content is, and in your instance, what your business is. Now, you could go to listing type websites like Yelp or the Yellow Pages or other places like that to create your free business listings one at a time. But there's actually better ways to do this in bulk and really move the needle fast. And if you want to learn more about that, again, make sure that you click our helpful resource link inside of our description below about how to get 3 quick wins to be able to rank higher in the Google Map Pack, even if you're not tech savvy and even if you've never done SEO before. So make sure that you check that out. Okay, so we've just talked about what you should focus on when it comes to SEO if you're a local business, but what if you're a national facing business? What if you provide products or services nationwide? You're not really locked into a location and servicing just a local area. What sort of SEO things should you be doing? Well, the very first thing that you can do if you're a national business to move the needle is to do good keyword research to find long-tailed keywords, which means these are words that are more than just 1 or 2 words, right? A very specific keyword phrase to find out what people are searching for online. Once you find these types of keywords that are relevant to your services or your products, you can then create a content strategy to help AI search retrieve your information. So for example, at BKA Content, one of our keywords is how to put keywords inside of content. So if you search that inside of Google, you'll see that in the AI overview, it gives some information, but BKA Content is cited as one of the top sources because it's retrieving the information that we've created about the specific keyword and the specific question that people have. So creating content around these keyword phrases that are very relevant to what you do or offer is incredibly important to move the needle the fastest when it comes to showing up inside of AI search. Now, this takes me to the second thing that you should focus on if you're a national facing business, and that's YouTube. The reason why YouTube matters so much is because YouTube is referenced over 200 times more inside of AI search than any other video platform, such as Instagram, TikTok, anything else you can think of. YouTube is what Google and other AI search platforms are actually rewarding right now. So for example, on how to put keywords in content, if I search that, you can see there's a YouTube video right here in the AI overview. There's a video over here as well. If we scroll down, there's another video. If we keep going down, there's some more videos. You can see that BKA Content actually has a couple of videos here. So you can see here that just because we've started creating some YouTube content around these keywords, we're getting lots of real estate on the first page of Google. So if you're a business, you need to be creating written content on your pages as well as YouTube videos, and you can actually marry the two and put that YouTube video and embed it inside of the content that you made the video about. And by doing this, you can 3 to 5 times the number of keywords that you're gonna rank on the first page of Google for. So don't ignore YouTube. YouTube is an incredibly good strategy to use right now, especially if you know what keywords that you're focusing on. And the third thing that you can focus on is the mind shift of what SEO means. Instead of search engine optimization, think of SEO as search everywhere optimization. So instead of just creating blog posts and that's the only thing that you do, you need to be expanding to these other platforms such as YouTube, like we've already mentioned. LinkedIn is another one, Reddit, and so forth. The reason why you want to do that is SEO, and the way that AI is retrieving information is it is looking at tons of different sources, more sources than it ever has before. So the more places that you are creating content or optimizing for, the better chance you have of your website being cited in the AI overview. And the fourth thing that you need to focus on if you're a national facing business is query fan out. So here's a really good diagram that explains what content query fan out means. So a query is just simply a question, what you type into Google, right? So when you type something into Google or AI, ChatGPT, what have you, they're going to look at that question and they're going to say, okay, what are the other really relevant questions that someone would ask? So what it's going to do is give several answers to several questions that it thinks is related to that first question that was asked. So let me show you how this works. So for example, if we're inside of Google and we click on AI mode and I just ask, what is a mechanical keyboard? You'll see that it is going to do this exact thing. It's going to tell me not what a mechanical keyboard is, but it's going to tell me how it works, the differences between them, who they're for. Do you see how it's answering lots of questions that are really tightly paired to that first question that I asked? So what this means is if I'm a website that is selling mechanical keyboards, I would want to make sure that I have lots of pages on my site answering these individual questions that are very related to each other. So this is again where site structure comes into play. If you're a website that is selling services or products, so you need to think about query fan out, or what related questions are also going to be asked that have to do with the main query that I want to come up for. This is where SEO is changing. Before, you could just answer that main question, get ranked for it, and you're great. But now AI is really doing a deep dive and making sure that it has all the context to understand how to retrieve the information that answers more of the questions. So making sure that your website has pages that answer these individual questions, whether that's in FAQ sections or individual pages, doing that is going to move the needle incredibly fast for you if you are a national facing website. So there you have it. I didn't mention anything about schema markup, alt text, or so forth. Even though those things will help you, nothing will move the needle faster than the things that I just talked about based on the type of business that you are. And if you want to learn more about query fan out and the strategies that you can implement to really make sure that your content is being retrieved by AI search, then make sure that you watch this video where we go over it in more detail. In this video, we go over a really cool AI trick where you can actually use AI to help you find the content gaps that your website has to know what sort of content and pages to create to come up in AI search. So make sure that you watch this video and we'll see you over there.